right, is the Illini Basketball Podcast episode number 121. The season has begun. Illinois is 1-0 in the win-loss column, as they should be.
It's a good start.
Yeah, I would say, the score would indicate domination, but I feel like Eastern Illinois hung around a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit longer than people probably wanted, but that'll happen. Illinois still getting their footing, still trying to figure out this new team. Everybody's pretty much new, playing together. So, but yeah, 87-57 win by the Illini. Of course, like we always do, we have a player of the game. We call it the POG here on the Illini Basketball Podcast because, that doesn't make any sense. So it makes sense. I'm going to go with Coleman Hawkins. 24 minutes, 8 for 14 from the field. He was 5 of 8 from three. One of those was a half-court heave. I think he was 5 of 7 in the first half. I think those were all in the first half, right? He was just unreal from three. I don't know what happened, but I like it. I like it a lot. I believe Underwood said, quote, and I guess he's, taking shots at the fans or whatever that, we're talking crap. But he said, quote, Coleman Hawkins can't shoot, has never been able to shoot and proved you all wrong. is what Underwood had to say about that. But other than, shooting well, he did a lot more. 12 rebounds, 5 offensive, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So filled up the stat line pretty well. And Underwood also said, quote, I'm going to wake up every day knowing that Coleman Hawkins is one of the best players in the league. So
yeah,
we always knew this is how Brad felt. So I'm not surprised that he said this, but if Coleman Hawkins can shoot like this all the time, I'll take it. Every time he put up a 3 last year, it was an oh no. And if he's going to shoot like this, I'm going to say, oh, yes, every time. So he really impressed me. Of course, talked about it. He's really impressive against these teams. So
yeah, I'm not falling for it.
We'll wait and see what happens. So who is your player of the game?
Well, first of all, on the Hawkins front, I'm glad Brad didn't jump to any conclusions. Yeah. I just, I'm not falling for it. We'll see how he plays in Vegas is what I'll say about him. But I'm going to go I think this season I'm going to try to avoid having the same player unless it's like completely, one way over another.
I think there's quite a few you could have picked for this game. So
yeah, I think there was 3 other options outside of Hawkins, and I'm just going to go with Terrence Shannon Jr., even though I know that he got most of his points at the free throw line. I feel like 26 minutes, 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 13 for 15 from the line. So it's a player who is getting to the line a lot and actually making them, unlike
one of the only
players.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Illinois, not good from the free throw line.
He had 8 rebounds, 3 on the offensive end, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And you could just tell that he's everywhere on the floor, especially defensively. You can tell that he's going to be a really, really good, valuable 2-way player for this team.
Yeah. And, the way he gets out and runs, him and Ty Rodgers run on that one play. He gives it off to Ty. Ty gives it back, and he throws down that monster dunk. That's something we haven't seen from Illinois before. So just being able to see that athleticism, that Underwood's been preaching about for, 4 months now. It's cool to see out on the court. I thought it was interesting. They said that Terrence Shannon Jr. Has been organizing team meetings. He said, quote, I just feel like we're going to go out on the court together and call each other's brothers. How are we going to call each other's brothers if we don't really know each other? So we talked about that captain's, the C. Like I said, I think he's filling that role for Illinois right now. And the way he plays, I think, is going to be, as a captain. So really cool to see. And yeah, his free throw shooting, 13 for 15, you can't beat that, especially when the team went 18 for 33 combined. So there were only 5 more free throws made. Of course, Coleman Hawkins had 2. Melendez was 1 for 2. Rogers was 1 for 6. I think during the watch party, you said, will Ty Rogers have a worse or better free throw percentage than Kofi? And right now he's trending worse, which is not great. Kofi was in the house for this game before he leaves for Japan. He apparently got a standing ovation, so Illini Nation still loves him. But yeah, I thought that Illinois played well this game. There were hiccups like there will be. RJ Melendez had an off night, 0 for 5 from 3, 1 for 2 from the line. Like I said, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 3 blocks by Melendez, and Illinois had 6 blocks in the first half, 9 total. So that might be more than they had all last year. I'm not really positive, but I'm going to say that it is. So he had 2 turnovers also. 20 minutes. And Underwood said that he felt like RJ was pressing a lot. He had a lot of open looks. I don't think he was forcing anything. I just think, sometimes they don't fall. I don't think this is the RJ we're going to see the rest of the season. But it was concerning to see him go 0 for 5 with mostly wide open threes. Your boy Matthew Meyer, he was okay, not great. Only played 16 minutes. He didn't play the last 15. Underwood said that there was no reason that he pulled him except for the fact that the game was just kind of over and didn't really need him. He said that Matthew Meyer's still transitioning, getting there late to campus, and that he's still, coming off the back injury. And so at this point, why not just start Ty Rogers? If he has all these things wrong with him and needs, more time, I don't know. But Sky Clark, 23 minutes, 1 for 3. All of them were threes. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 turnovers. Sky Clark wasn't great this game.
No. I mean, I don't think there's a reason for that. I just feel like
I feel like he should shoot more, take the ball to the hoop more. I mean, I thought we had all these. I thought Illinois was getting all these penetrating guards, and I don't know. I haven't seen a penetrating guard yet.
They didn't need to do that against that team. Like they could have done it, but they didn't need to. I think they just felt like, oh,
that doesn't even make sense.
We're just gonna miss everything and then follow it up is the game plan. We're gonna miss everything and then penetrate after the shot, because second chance points is really where Illinois made their money in this game, other than Hawkins making.
I mean, yeah, when you're missing your own bunnies and you put them back yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Does anything make sense with Brad Underwood's coaching early in the season? Not really. So why not?
Jay, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Jay says, I think this whole team will need a couple months to figure out their place and role on the team. Absolutely. The first 2 months will probably be up and down. Hopefully by Big Ten play, they will be ready. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, this team's still trying to figure it out and gel and all that, whatever words they use for that. Who haven't we talked about? Oh, Dane Danger. The Danger Zone. Impressive game. His defense is atrocious, but offensively, he looked really good. 8 for 9 from the field. He was not good from the line also. He did have 10 rebounds. Underwood said that he challenged him to get 10 rebounds. Dane Danger went out and got 10 rebounds. So That's always good. 17 points, 2 blocks. Are you believing in the danger zone yet?
You know, it didn't look like a double-double, to be honest.
Yeah.
It didn't look that way, especially since I think we noticed a lot of the defensive issues with him more than anything.
Yeah. He doesn't
But
jump on defense. I mean, Kofi, at least Kofi, excuse me, shouldn't have had hot wings before this. At least Kofi jumped. It might have been late, but at least he jumped.
yeah, well,
Yeah. Okay.
well, I feel like the advantage that Danger thinks he has is probably the ability to use his footwork to stay in front of people. But also, you probably should jump a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, offensively, I mean, he looked pretty good. I mean, he had a nice little fadeaway. I don't know. Is this the Dane Danger we're gonna get the whole time? I hope so. Underwood said on him, quote, "He's a nice addition. That's a spark you can bring off the bench." He said that his post presence is completely different than that of Coleman Hawkins, obviously. So yeah, he also said, quote, "Great play out of Dane. I challenged him to get 10 rebounds. Like we said, he chased it, he pursued it, gave me a lot of confidence in him tonight. He was terrific." I mean, he was terrific. He was good. I'm not even gonna hate on him. I'm not even doing it. There'll be plenty of time down the road for us to talk smack if we need to. Ty Rodgers. What do you think of Ty this game? 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 1 point.
He did a lot of the little things well, which I think what you expect out of him.
Yeah, I mean, he plays defense really well. He pushes the ball. I mean, I really like the 5 assist number. So that's kind of what they talked about when he was playing with the USA team and stuff. Is he's not a score first kind of guy,
because shooting is certainly not his forte.
It is not. Yeah, 1 for 6 from the line is brutal.
And 1 for 6 when it wasn't even really close, like ever. Like he pretty much just throws line drives at the rim and sees what happens.
Yeah. And then Jaden Epps played 24 minutes this game. He was 1 of 4, 0 for 2 from 3. Illinois shot 26 threes, so under the 30 mark. Good, bad, and different about that, I don't know. I'm happy that they didn't go to 30 again. He had 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 points.
It didn't feel like he shot the ball 4 times, to be honest.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he was shooting much at all. I'm pretty sure that Illinois missed, I don't know, 10 to 15 layups this game. Just kind of concerning. And then last guy that we'll talk about is Sincere Harris. I think that he was by far the best freshman on the team against Eastern. The team just looks different when he plays. Their defense is better. He's long, he's quick, he's aggressive. He only played 15 minutes, but 4 of 9 from the field. He knocked down a 3. He couldn't make a free throw. He's 0 for 2 from the line. 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steals, led the team in steals, a block, and 9 points. So I'm really excited about Sincere. I hope that he keeps getting playing time. I think that at some point, I mean, I believe he has to play just because of what he brings when he comes in. Just on an energy level with this team, it seems like sometimes they get lackadaisical or whatever, and I feel like Sincere can change that up. Brad said he had tremendous admiration for how Sincere Harris plays the game. He said, quote, "The game finds you when you play that hard." So
I wonder, so Epps played 8 more minutes than him. I wonder what that looks like in this next game. I think it'll be a little bit closer. Actually, it was 9 more. Excuse me. Bad math.
Yeah, and if you watch the watch party, I think we have Trent Frazier 2.0, and we have DeMonte Williams 2.0, right? That's
Very nice.
what
Very
they look
nice.
like out on the court. So, Illinois basketball Twitter, Illini basketball Twitter, their official account referred to Hawkins, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Dane Danger as a three-headed monster.
In this game, sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I mean, Illinois did what they had to do. They didn't cover the spread, however, so I don't know how excited we are about that, or did they? They didn't. It depended on when you got it.
Well,
If you
if you
followed
took it,
Bovada, yeah,
if you took it when we told you to take it, it's minus 29. That's a big cover.
Underwood swapped out Trent and DeMonte for Ty and Harris. Jaden Epps looks like DeMonte to me, and he wears the same number. So,
and Rogers is too bad of a shooter, I think, and that's
I don't know.
It's not like DeMonte was lighting up last season though either, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, you can't complain. There's some missteps there. You know, it was a lot closer at the beginning, but Illinois' defense looked good. You know, they didn't allow 60, like I said. There was no way they were allowing 60. Eastern hit some early shots that probably shouldn't have went in, but they did. So the game looked closer at the beginning. And then Illinois kind of started figuring it out. I'm worried about the movement on offense a little bit, I guess, because Brad Underwood loves this motion offense. And it seemed like there was a lot of standing around. Like I talked about, there wasn't, dribble drive stuff. And then when there was, they kicked it out and it seemed like the guy missed it. But I don't feel like this offense is doing what Brad Underwood said it would do. When Illinois is good, it's when they're running. It's not when they're in a half court set. So I'd just like to see more movement, I guess. And Eastern did throw a 2-3 zone at him a little bit, so maybe that messed with them. I don't know, but
that's something you could fix though. Like the way that the offense runs, that's an adjustment that they probably knew that they would have to make. And
I agree, but
it's definitely going to be something that you have to have some sort of semblance of that figured out by the time you get to Vegas. You don't want to have that type of stagnance. I think that's a good word against UCLA.
Yeah, where you're just hoping that you can outrun them. You can outrun a team like Eastern. I don't know if you can outrun UCLA, but
probably not. But also, if you are able to turn a game against UCLA into that style of game, it favors you because UCLA is not that type of team. But athletically, they can match up with Illinois, which a team like Eastern cannot. Right. So. Right. Yeah, I think this game was about what we expected. Some small little tweaks you could make here and there, some lack of chemistry in some departments. I didn't expect them to miss quite as many layups as they did. I think they might have scored 100 points if they could make a few more layups, free throws.
Yeah.
But the ability to get steals and turn them into points will be, better down the road because they'll probably be making those layups. I think. I guess you don't really know with this team. But
you hope.
And they're not going to be able to rely on second chance points against teams that actually know how to rebound as much.
Yeah.
So that'll be another factor.
Yeah. Sincere Harris has missed, 3 bunnies and a dunk or something? So
2 dunks.
Well, the one dunk he got fouled on, right? Does that count? I don't think that counts.
He missed it still. I mean, I'd like somebody to ask. I'd like somebody to figure out why he uses his right hand so much.
Yeah, the runners with the right hand.
Yeah, and the dunks.
Ambidextrous.
Amphibious, yeah.
I mean, he almost dunked over Hamlin, and then he's wide open and gets blocked by the rim.
Very weird.
That was really weird. So, yeah. Again, this is kind of what you want. Illinois will go play another team about the same level, maybe worse after the first game. But on to UMKC we go. UMKC, is that right? UMKC.
Well, I think they're just Kansas City now.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So, I'm very distracted right now. Okay, moving on. This whole Twitter thing, whatever.
We're doing a podcast.
I
Who
know,
cares
I
about
know.
Twitter right now?
There's a lot of drama. Okay.
People will be out there.
People are just the whole
People-
Twitter blue thing, and it's a whole disaster for
Oh
everybody.
boy.
Which I am verified now, so be on the lookout. It's just Kansas City
Did
now.
you pay $8 for that?
Absolutely, I did.
Attaboy.
I'm only gonna do it for 1 month though. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
keep that going.
Yeah, right.
Just want to have some fun. No, because it's like it doesn't feel right, Even though I think there are accounts that are verified that I deserve more than them actually being verified, but that's fine. I'm an official journalist, pretty much, if you think about it, especially with the way that I tweet.
With like 3,500 followers.
No, it's like 1,500, but whatever.
Okay.
But there's people with under 1,000 that are verified. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, it's the people making like fake accounts and then paying for verification, then tweeting out BS. Like, you got to figure that out. Anyway, I closed the tab. Moving along, it's Kansas City now. It's not UMKC. This is a Kansas City team.
Well, somebody needs to tell Google that it's just Kansas City because they still have UMKC.
Well, it's Kansas City. Nice try. This is a Kansas City team that is not good by any means. They did beat Missouri last year, if that matters.
But they can't beat Lincoln, Missouri. So
apparently they are worse this season than last season, according to the first game of the season. They lost to Lincoln 59-56. That's a non-D1 opponent. That's a loss. 38% from the field they shot, 20% from three, 53% from the line. They had 22 turnovers. 22 turnovers against that team. I have to wonder how they're going to play against LSU, who they play tonight, and Illinois. So,
yeah.
Yikes. They might have 50 turnovers.
Is this LSU's first game?
Did
they play somebody?
It is their first game, yes.
Okay. I was just wondering how
And Matt McMahon's first season.
Adam Miller was doing.
Matt McMahon's first season in LSU equals let's try to get the easiest non-conference schedule possible because they got UMKC. Sorry, they have Kansas City. KenPom has his UMKC too. I'm telling you, it's just Kansas City, folks. KC, Arkansas State, New Orleans, Illinois State, Wofford, UT Arlington, NC Central, Winthrop, ETSU. I mean, there's some decent mid-majors in there, but yikes, embarrassing is what I call that. But LSU's pretty much Murray State from last season. So we'll see. KenPom has Illinois beating them by 24, and they have LSU beating them by 23.
Okay.
This game is Friday night, 8 o'clock, Big Ten Network. If it was 6 o'clock, we would do a watch party probably. But you know what? The Illini literally play every game at 8 o'clock this season, pretty much. Like just about every single, like Lindenwood's 8 o'clock, Monmouth's 8 o'clock. We're gonna try to do the Monmouth on the 14th next Monday, a watch party for that before the Vegas games.
Yep.
And then we'll probably maybe do one for Syracuse as well. So stay tuned, of course. But this is a Kansas City team that has a lot of freshmen that play, 4 or 5 freshmen that play. They're starting 4 and starting 5 are both freshmen in terms of position numbers, if you still think that those matter. But I think this is a game for Coleman Hawkins to continue to play well and Matthew Meyer. When you're facing freshmen, you're at home. These freshmen are not as good as you, relatively speaking. They should play well.
You think Matthew Meyer is going to play well? Jay says he hates 10 p.m. games. I agree. I like being done with a game.
8 p.m., but if you want to say 10 p.m., that's fine.
Oh, 8 p.m. Sorry. I was thinking I don't like games being over at 10 p.m.
Right.
That's
right.
That's where I was going with that. Sorry.
Well, hope you get over. Hope you can get through that because there are a lot of them this season.
I guess I will.
Like most of the non-conference, and then of course you'll be in Vegas, but that's an 8:30 game. It is a Friday, but
it's 6:30. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly my point. I think KC's lineup in their first game might be like the greatest collection of names for a team. Yeah. Some really interesting names here. Their starting point guard is Shamari Allen, who's a 6'4 senior, put up 14 points, 5 boards, 4 assists in the first game. Their other guard is Raquandis Mitchell, who I put Raquandis Allen because that'd be hilarious. 6'5 senior, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Then they have Allen David Mukeba, 6'7" sophomore, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists in their first game. Next forward, the 4 is Jeff Ngandu, 6'9" freshman. And then at the 5, they have Precious C. Idiaru, 6'9" freshman, 5 points, 2 boards. And they also have a player on their team, I'm assuming his brother, named Promise C. Idiaru. LOL.
Precious and Promise. Didn't he want a Precious? Precious Achua?
Achua went to the University of Memphis, and then I believe he's still in the NBA.
Jay's going to Vegas this week.
He was a 5-star.
Messed up that planning. Jay. Sorry.
Precious Achua was a first-round pick for the Heat in 2020. So
yeah,
5-star. So there you go. He went to Memphis, though, wasted his time.
But
yeah, very interesting collection of names. The fact that you have brothers named Precious and Promise, and then you have Raquandis Mitchell. That's it should be Raquandis Allen. That would be hilarious, as I said. Alan David Mukeba, Shamari Allen. I mean, it's a very, very unique names on this team, but that doesn't mean they're good at basketball. I don't think that means that.
They'd win the name game. Is that what you're saying?
And their coach, former UNLV coach Marvin Menzies. So there you go. Made the tournament 5 times at New Mexico State. Never got out of the first round, but made it 5 times. Now at Kansas City. And first year there, so bit of a different setup they got going. And we'll see.
Sounds good.
They're not good, I think would be.
They're not good, yeah.
They're
not good.
And that's not a knock. I think everybody knows that. Now, if they hang around with LSU tonight, that makes it a little bit more interesting.
How could that be a knock? They literally lost to Lincoln, Missouri.
Yeah, I know.
Was it just the town of Lincoln came out to play basketball against them and beat them? Or
could be the case. I mean, is that as bad as Northern Illinois losing to UIS, though? I mean, come on.
I don't know.
Northern Illinois is a MAC school.
Yeah.
This is Kansas City's in the Summit. I mean, and they're not a good Summit team either. So
obviously,
yeah. We'll see though. We'll see. Be interesting. Maybe I'll tune into their game against LSU tonight.
Yeah. What's that on?
A little scouting.
ESPN Plus.
Probably some sort of BS like that. Yeah. I will check that while you speak about something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I expect more of the same thing from Illinois. I'm hoping. I think so. I don't think he's going to change the lineup unless Matthew Myers actually hurt, struggling. Yeah, with his back or whatever it is, or conditioning. I don't know.
ESPN Plus, LSU -23. ESPN Plus.
I'm hoping that Sky Clark can get to the hoop a few times. I am hoping that Sky Clark can limit the turnovers. And I'm hoping that Sky Clark, I don't know why I didn't put Sky Clark down on player to watch. That Sky Clark plays well. I did, I just that was my biggest. I mean, I know that RJ had a bad game, but I was not impressed with how Sky played.
Sky Clark is a freshman playing his first game. I don't care who it's against. It's a little bit different than RJ bricking every wide open shot.
That's fair.
So to defend Sky there. And also LSU -23 tonight tells me it'll probably be Illinois -24, depending on that result. Maybe a little higher than that, 26 maybe. But that's going to be the line for those of you, who are willing to throw your money on this team. I guess, is it still in state you can't bet on Illinois?
Yeah. I think that's...
So, if you're from Missouri and you're an Illini fan, which good for you because you don't have to follow that BS they have going on at Mizzou. Yeah, so there you go. All right, KenPom numbers. It's very small sample size. Illinois' adjusted offensive efficiency is 40th. Kansas City's 299th, which I feel like when you lose to a D3 school, you should probably just be automatically 358.
Should be 3, yeah, just the last one.
Adjusted defensive efficiency, Illinois is 27th. Kansas City's 286th. Then adjusted tempo, which I don't know how they determine this stat, but whatever. Illinois number 76, Kansas City number 180, which Illinois, they seem like a team that's going to want to,
run,
get up the court.
Yeah, they're going to run. They're going to run, and they're going to. I mean, I like the full court stuff. I guess they don't play it to trap which is okay. They play it to limit the shot clock. They did have a 10-second violation. They forced Eastern to have a 10-second violation. I guess it's beneficial if a team crosses the line at 22, 21 seconds on the shot clock, then just letting them come up and do it. But yeah, we'll see how the defense keeps going. So
adjusted tempo is an estimate of the tempo parentheses possessions per 40 minutes a team would have against a team that wants to play at an average D1 tempo. So I just made it more confusing for myself.
Yeah, I did.
Anyway,
Anywho, all right.
Illinois wants to play fast. They can do that.
Gotcha.
But when you
Makes
play
sense.
fast and you have wide open guys in the corner like Ty Rogers or RJ Melendez, and you're going to have to get under the hoop for the rebound. And that's one thing you can appreciate about Matthew Meyer is that he follows everything.
He does. He puts it up. He's going after it.
I mean, you talked about it on the watch part.
I did.
Up a little bit
I agree. Sorry.
Players to watch from each team. Last game I had Meyer and Hamlin. I would say, mixed results. I thought Meyer played okay. Defensively, he was pretty rough when he was facing guards. And also, I will say this real quick about Illinois' defense. I like how they switch as much as they do, but there's also some cases where it's very unnecessary. I think an example of that is RJ and Hawkins having a miscommunication, no screen at all. Hawkins decides to switch. RJ gets lost, wide open layup. I think it was RJ decided to switch. Might have been Hawkins decided.
Yeah, because RJ got benched right after that. So
it's RJ deciding to switch. Hawkins got lost.
RJ.
Yeah. So if it's not a ball screen, I don't think that you need to switch. But I think that Illinois is a team that's going to try to switch as much as possible, which is something that Baylor did a lot or still does.
Yes, and I like it. I'm interested to see what they do when there's – I mean, it was kind of weird watching Sky Clark guard Hamlin or like – that's going to get you hurt in the Big Ten, I feel. So I don't know if they'll keep doing that once they get in the Big Ten.
I think a bigger problem than that is Meyer trying to guard a guard. That was bad. Yeah, he got smoked a few times. I'm not saying it's his fault, but I mean, if you want to be Defensive Player of the Year, you should probably maybe make some sort of stop.
Meyer, his defense was not. It's
got to be injury related or something.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. He's a good player.
All right,
but. We'll see. Who's your players to watch from this game?
I got Dane Danger. I want to see if he can continue being as good as he was in the Eastern game. And then I got Raquandis Mitchell because his name is Raquandis, and I don't know anything about KC. So
you're going to find out tonight. He might be matched up with Adam Miller tonight.
Yeah, and I picked Bismani. Whatever his name was from Eastern. He had 6 points. So,
and the only thing I remember from him in the entire game is I think he made an early shot.
Yeah.
I think that's
what was his name? Kenyon Hodges. Is that right?
Athletic.
Jump out of the gym. That was crazy.
And Yakima Rose Jr. from Lanphier. It's, solid little guard.
Got to start.
Nice plays.
Yeah.
I'm going Coleman Hawkins. Same thing with Danger for you is I just want to see how he performs. And I think the matchups are going to be in his favor given the fact that he's likely going to be matched up with freshmen on the offensive end at least. It's kind of hard to say, he's going to be matched up with this guy defensively because of how much Illinois switches. You're not really one-on-one a ton.
Do you think that he shoots as freely as he did against Eastern? I mean, you think that he just has great – because at 1-3 when the TV was crapping out or whatever that seemed very unnecessary.
Yep.
The other one I understood because the shot clock was running down. But I mean, and then I think he took 1-3 in the second half, and it looked like it wasn't even the same form that he had in the first 7 shots. So that was interesting.
Is his release quicker, or is it just the confidence? Do you think?
I don't think it's quicker. I think it's the same. I felt like his release in that one that he took in the second half was super quick. I think that's probably why he missed it. So, I mean, he's literally going to be taller than most guys out there guarding him. So just shoot it with confidence. That's what I say.
Yeah, I think he did do that successfully in that first game. I don't know. I'm assuming that he probably won't put up the same numbers in the first game as he did. I
Yeah,
don't think he's going to make that many threes.
I don't think we're expecting Coleman Hawkins to go 5 of 8 from 3 every game, but if he does, I'm here for it.
We expected DeMonte Williams to do that last season.
Never.
Before the season started. Yeah, because he
3,
made so many.
4, maybe.
Okay.
I never expected DeMonte to shoot 8 threes.
I expected 9 for 10. Anyway, my player will be Alan David Mukeba. There, I gave 4 different pronunciations. One of those has to be right. I feel like they're going to use him as kind of, he had a double-double in the first game. I think defensively he's going to be very important. I don't know if he's a good defender, because why would I? I mean, if you know whether he's a good defender or not off the top of your head, you might be a bigger loser than me. But no, I just, they're going to have to use him against probably Shannon or Melendez. And I wonder how it's going to, because they're going to need him. Because the other 2 guys behind him in terms of length in their lineup are freshmen. And freshmen going into Illinois, you're facing a team that's supposed to be good. Illinois is supposed to be good. And you're going to need to defend a little bit.
What's
and I don't know if these guys are up
to be? You're not saying Illinois is good?
I'm not. I'd like to see a little bit more. I think they're good, but maybe they'll be great.
There you go. We're looking for great. All right, predictions.
Yeah, I'm not quite as confident as you.
I got Illinois scoring 90 this game.
I don't know.
92-52. I mean, Kansas City put up 56 against Lincoln, Missouri. If they put up more than 56 against Illinois, I'm done doing this podcast.
Okay, relax. I'm going to say Illinois 82-55.
Okay.
No reason why. I just there you go.
Felt right, huh?
Yeah, felt good.
I think if we put mine and yours together from the last game, we were pretty close.
Yeah, I think I had what did I have? 80. I don't remember.
What am I? The Google Docs guy? I'll look real quick. Hold on. I had 96-54 and you had 88-50, and I think it ended up 85-50.
87-57.
Okay.
So I was 1 point off the Illinois score. You were 3 points off the Eastern. So that's, right on the money pretty much.
Yeah.
That's why you watch this, because you know that we're going to be pretty close. So,
yeah.
Pretty close.
Right.
So pretty much a win is what we are looking for.
W's. Yeah. And handily. Take care of business. Clean up some things. Gotta keep getting ready for Vegas.
I gotta be honest. I
just hope Illinois doesn't go to Vegas and lose by like 20.
Don't you kind of wish they were playing like a Gavitt Games game before Vegas? Like, I'd like to see them play like a lower level Big East
sort of
team.
competition.
Yeah, because you're going from Monmouth to UCLA. I don't think that's something that I'm too concerned about. It's just something that I wish was a little bit different.
Yeah, I could see that. I can also see why they did it this way too, because there were a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions still. So get your footing, get grounded, as they say.
To be fair, I mean, UCLA is going from Norfolk State to Illinois, so they're not really playing anybody. And UCLA's only hard non-conference games after Illinois and whoever they play in Vegas is Kentucky. So other than that, they have a very easy non-conference schedule. But they are playing, like, Long Beach State's a pretty good mid-major team, and Norfolk State has been a tournament team in the last couple of years. So I think that UCLA is playing harder competition, but it's not high major competition before Illinois. So I think that's something that's a factor. But UCLA has a lot more returning players of impact than Illinois does, in my opinion. So
that's fair.
Jalen Clark and Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez and
Mackie. Shout out to your boy, my boy, our boy, Brandon Pajimski. Now that we know how to say his name and he's gone. 30 points in his opener at Santa Clara.
Very nice, very nice. Let me just say this too. Brandon Lieb 0 for 2. Doesn't look like he's going to break out.
Shoot.
He's terrible. Really bad. Like,
really
so
missed that
bad.
prediction.
Like, I don't know if we were joking, but we threw out the idea, like, if Danger's this bad, does Lieb get minutes? I mean, that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, Danger would have to be really bad.
I would line up Paxton Warden at the 5 over Lieb. So, and I rolled Tyler Underwood back out there too while we're at it.
Yeah. And somebody posted on Twitter that Servin had the 9 million box score or something because he played 9 minutes and literally had nothing else. So
9 minutes, man.
Impressive. Pod's filling it up, gonna miss that. Yeah. So I looked it up. He was 2 of 7 from 3, so I think he was 9 of 20 from the field.
Either way, though, hey, and it wasn't against that. It wasn't against that bad of an opponent.
Yeah, but I wanted to make the statement. Pods was 6 of 7 from 3. We would really miss that, but 2 of 7. We got those shooters already. I don't know if. Do you think he would have had any playing time again?
I also I wonder, like, would Sincere Harris be here if Podge was still here? Because Sincere Harris would then be like, I don't want to have to work. Well, probably wrong, actually. Yeah, Podge would not be playing, would be my answer to that.
Yeah. He did have I listened to his post game because everybody from Illinois retweeted or whatever. They asked him if he had, he said, we got a lot of, family and friends in Illinois and Wisconsin. And do you have anything to say to him? And he goes, we're not going to talk about that. So he's kind of throwing shade at Illini fans. And the guy's like, no, I think I misasked the question. Like, do you want to say hi to your family and friends? So he did shout out Trent Frazier in it too. He said that Trent took him under his wing and kind of helped him grow and be confident in his game. So he did shout out Trent. So.
His career high before that was 7. He had 7 in back-to-back games against St. Francis, and surprisingly 7 points in 8 minutes against Mizzou. I kind of remember that though. So
yeah, he's knocking some down, but happy for him.
Hey, he's very efficient last season. I mean, think about it. He only missed 1 2-pointer last season. How about that? How about that stat?
How about that? And other news of guys that left, Curbelo got teed up a minute into his first game at St. John's. So, but that's Curbelo. I think he threw one down and then he turned around and mouthed off or whatever he did. But I feel like everybody has a quick trigger to give Curbelo a tee.
It's very weird because you watch Danger's dunk. He like threw the ball backwards.
Yeah, they didn't do anything about that.
He had a very Curbelo-like game though. 13 points, made a 3-pointer. How about that?
Yeah,
he's 7 assists,
50% from 3 already. So 1 for 2.
It's a very Curbelo game, and I think St. John's is going to be one of those teams.
7 assists, 5 turnovers.
That's right on the money. I mean, St. John's remember when I talked about St. John's before the season and I said this team is going to turn the ball over so much? They had 29 turnovers against Merrimack.
Yeah. 29.
Just 10 alone from their 2 guards with Posh Alexander and Andre Curbelo. So 29 turnovers. Jesus.
MJ says thinks that Pajemski would have played 5 to 12 minutes a game with Luke hurt, 2 to 6 with him healthy. I think he played at all. I think he played like 35 in that opening game out there. So
Santa Clara is a good spot for him. We're happy for him.
We are happy for him. I'm happy. I hope he does well.
Do you want to talk about another former Illini player who we once enjoyed watching?
Yep.
Tevion Jones.
Yeah.
28 points against New Mexico. Tevion Jones might be the WAC player of the year this year.
Yeah.
He wasn't healthy last year. This is his 3rd year there. I'm assuming it's his last year of college ball. He didn't play very many games.
Right? COVID year or something, unless he got Yeah, it's got to be his last year.
Yeah. But I mean, they hung around with New Mexico. I mean, they're not that much worse ranked than New Mexico, but yeah, Tevion 28 points, 5 boards, efficient as well, 6 for 12 from 3.
6 for 12. That's one guy not afraid to shoot.
Especially when he's the guy,
I do miss him. I always thought he was going to be really good. So
I think he would have been really good in a situation like they have now, where you're able to get out and run.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
how do you? We're talking about all this. How much is Illinois going to miss Grandison just knocking down threes when you needed them?
None, because they're going to have Matthew Meyer firing it up by the time he's healthy.
Okay. How's Grandison doing? Speaking of that, did he
I don't
play?
know. Let me look here.
Has Duke played
Grandison,
yet?
yeah, Jacksonville's a pretty good mid-major team, and they dominated them. Only gave up 44 points. Grandison played 25 minutes, had 2 points,
Ooh.
1 for 4 from the field. He's 0 for 3 from 3.
Okay.
5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 turnover. So not bad. Is he going to be
2
there?
points in 24 minutes. That's crazy, though.
25, excuse me. But he had 5 assists, 5 boards, 3 offensive rebounds. Because Lively and Whitehead, their 2 biggest freshmen, were out. I wonder how many minutes he's going to get when those guys are playing, because it seems like he was their 6th man in this game. He might drop back a little bit when those guys are healthy. And also, I'll say this: the MVP, according to KenPom, in that game was Ryan Young, short shorts, unmuscular, unathletic,
really?
from Northwestern.
Heck yeah.
6 for 6 from the field. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Only other thing I got is today was apparently National Signing Day. I don't know, early National Signing Day. Recruits, who cares? But Illinois officially, they can't leave now, has Hansberry, Perrin, and Gibbs Lawhorn. Yes, Perrin did sign today. He will be an Illini next year. So Illinois gets the number 72 player with Hansberry, the number 69 player with Gibbs Lawhorn. Thank you. And the number 216 player in Zachary Perrin. Currently, they're a top 20 class nationally, sitting at 17. So Perrin at 216 is interesting.
He signed, really? Wow.
Yep.
Wasn't even paying attention.
He did. So that's all I got. Everybody Twitter bluing over there, or what? We're gonna wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Perrin signed, to be honest, but whatever. He can still get out of it, right?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
I think you could pretty much get out of it anytime you want now. I don't think anybody's going to hold a player hostage these days.
That's true. I don't know how it works with all that. So not really my thing. So
we will be back presumably, Sunday, probably.
Yeah.
Or Monday.
Sunday would probably work.
We'll figure that out. We're going to try to do watch party Monday for the Monmouth game. We'll talk about that before.
Perrin coming in January, but he wouldn't be able to play till next year, right?
Well, if he is able to play, he replaces Lieb immediately as the garbage time center. So, congrats. Yeah, we'll be back. Episode 122.
Similar to Danger. That's good. I think he really needs to build muscle, work out with Fletch and stuff. So,
well, we said that about Lieb, and he hasn't tried.
Lieb needs to eat like 10,000 calories a day to gain any weight, I think. So, yeah,
well, it's not going to happen. We'll see you next time for episode 122. We'll talk about the Kansas City game. And yeah, I was a Lieb guy. That's why I'm taking shots at him now.
Yeah, he can, because he picked him to be the breakout player, so he can criticize him all he wants. I think that's why he did it.
About that. All right, we'll see you to recap the UKC game, and then we will. I'm taking the M out because it's not Missouri; it's Kansas City. I'm telling you, folks.
That's fine.
And we'll talk about Monmouth, and we'll do a watch party before the next game. We'll talk about that more in the next episode. All right, that's it.